I've been, hello. All right. I've been reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it's a brilliant book. Like, we don't need you yapping. And it's a brilliant, it's, a, it's just my partner, Kate, who's trying to tell me to be smoother in my presentation. Okay. Apparently, I'm too staccato when I present. So I'm going to be smooth. Okay. Focus. James Clear's Atomic Habits. It's a fantastic book. It'd been recommended to me by a bunch of my friends who I completely ignored because I very arrogantly thought that I completely understood it. Right? Atomic Habits, break it down into baby steps. It's just 1 minute of meditation. It's just one push up and then build it up over time. And I thought I got it, and I was mistaken. I read the book and he goes, sorry, I'm not going to go into all of it, honey. It's just a short review. I've lost my thread now. Yeah, and I thought I had it, right? I thought, arrogantly thought that I understood it, but he goes into a great deal of depth about the psychology of habit forming, the mechanics of habit forming, and I got a hell of a lot out of it. And the way he breaks it down is he talks about the 4 laws of habit forming, and this applies to both bad habits and good habits. So the first is cue, second craving, third response, fourth reward. So there's some aspect of our environment which triggers us into engaging in the habit. That's the cue. We then develop this craving. Maybe we're at the bar, we see lots of people drinking. I want a wine or a beer. The response is the action we then take, and the reward is see what we receive in return for taking the action. And when it comes to creating proactive habits, healthy habits, he uses those 4 phases, and he talks about the cue. Make it obvious. Have some obvious cue in your life that's going to trigger you into taking the good habit. Make it attractive, and this is really important. Response. Make it easy. So this is the part of the book which I did understand before reading it. So we have to start really super simple, super easy, and the reward. You make sure you've got some reward at the end of it. And the other reason I love this is because he's using this word habit and not using the word discipline. And I don't know about you, but I have a huge reaction to that word discipline. It reminds me of teachers, parents, hard work. Whereas habit is a neutral term. We can have good habits and bad habits. And so for that reason, I really like the way he frames it. And the way that I've applied this, the scenario I'm using is sales. I've had a very patchy relationship with sales, to say the least. I am capable of making 10, 20 sales calls in a day. But whenever I do that, I'm so wiped out by it, I don't want to make another sales call for like 10 days. And I've never developed a habit around it. It's always taken enormous willpower. And sometimes on a good day, I manage to do some good sales work. And so taking his advice from the book, I've completely transformed my approach now. And I've set up my cue. So first thing in the morning when I open my laptop, I know that's my cue to take some form of sales action. Send a text, an email, call someone up. And I'm only going to do one, just one. I'm keeping it super simple. And then I'm rewarding myself with one of these little puppies. So these are chocolate truffles, expensive chocolate truffles, very tasty. And so after I've taken one of those actions, I give myself a chocolate, which is now developing me this craving. I'm now waking up thinking, oh, can't wait to open my laptop, make my sales call, get my chocolate. And so far, so good. I've made at least one sales action every day. And he talks about the importance of that, not breaking the chain. And that's why, again, it's so important to make it easy, because when it's easy, we can pick up the thread much more simply. When in the back of our mind, we know it's easy to get started again. Or if it's a very intense and it's difficult, we might be able to keep it up for a few days, but very likely to keep it going and keep that unbroken chain and maintain the habit. So that's where I'm at with it so far. And it has made a big difference. I have made some form of sales action every day this week, and it feels great. And I have a lot of confidence and high expectation. I'm going to develop a habit around this. I've also got now habit trackers going for that, and I'm learning French on Duolingo and so on and so on. So I'm really excited by this approach. I'm going to keep you updated in how it's going. I'm definitely going to get James Clear on the podcast. So if anybody who out there knows him, put in a good word, please let me know. You will be on Human. You will be on Being Human. That's a promise. And I'll put a link to his book in the description.